Hello, my High Priestess Key family over here. All right, in the place to be. Okay, I'm coming to do the Gibbous Waning energy read. Okay, so you guys know that I always come here to do the moon reads, right? The energy read around the moon. I will be doing um, element readings over here. All right. So you'll get your elements if you're a fire sign, or if you resonate with fire, if you resonate with earth, or if you resonate with water, whatever it may be. You may even not even have to be a fire sign, but maybe you resonate with fire element this month, you know what I'm saying? Or this week or whatever, right? Maybe you feeling you're more Leo in your chart somewhere. Because remember, we're all the signs. So those element reads I'm gonna do probably later on, maybe tonight. So I'll have those posted, or either tomorrow. So just before the end of this week, okay, I'll have the element reads over here. All right. But today we're doing the gibbous waning. Okay. Waning means to decrease, right? It's after the full moon. The waning is the gradual decrease. So you'll see it looks like it's decreasing, not too much crescent, but it's decreasing, right? So it's definitely after the full moon. So the waning lasts until the new moon. So we'll have the gibbous, and we'll have the crescent waning, and then boom, the new moon, which is the bringing in, new, right? New energy. And then we move into the waxing again, right? So it's a repeated cycle. So you'll see the repeated names, but different energy. Remember that, right? Because it's different aspects of the different planetary alignment, right? So I actually I resonate with true sidereal astrology, as well as the verdict, right? So you'll hear me talk about those two here on this channel more than the Western. I just go with what resonates with you, but know that the true sidereal is what I use in reference of what is truly in the sky, what you can lay your eyes on if you look out of a telescope, okay, and see what's in the planetary alignment. All right, so the other thing I wanted to talk about in reference of that is that right now, for this energy that we're in right now, based off of the planetary alignment right now, Venus is about to be retro and conjunct the sun. Oh, sorry, family, I have broke my nail and it's hurting real bad. So what does that mean? Well, of course, we know Venus, right? So Venus is all about different things. Love, everybody knows about, right? But not just that. Venus can be about money too, right? Venus can be about many things, not just love. I like to look on my ladder to talk to you more in detail about Venus, right? Um, because in the aspect of spiritual astrology, Venus is known to good parts of it is to generate wealth, generational wealth, right? Power, it Venus actually, I know it's gonna sound weird, but Venus actually has a lot of Scorpio element to it, right? So was energy in reference of the zodiac, right? So that could mean a lot of different things in reference of it being conjunct with the sun this week too. Okay, so we could see some things highlighted strongly, and becoming visible that normally wouldn't be seen. Maybe even in your money, and maybe even in your love life, right? Some lies to be revealed. Okay, so you may see some things like that occur as well, because this is the energy. I'm just telling you about the energy. Okay, we could see some things around that Venus element, definitely in different parts of the country. I'm not going to go into that, but what I will say is that just know that with this energy that is here for Venus, it's a lot that is in reference of interventions and interruptions. So we'll see both sides of it. The good side will be that things will change, right? So that change will show you an intervention in your problem, right? What are interventions? Well, intervention, come in and change something, right? And intervene. And then an interruption is to what? Disrupt, right? So you'll see both sides of that. It's always duality within any aspect of planetary alignment in life. Okay. I did the message this morning on Patreon, and it was all about balance. So I see why now, right? Because it's Venus energy, which Venus is about, also giving off the energies of threes, okay, in the spiritual astrology, which goes back to communication as well, but also goes back to spiritual, ancient ancestors support, hence 333, okay? But Venus, I always like to go back to, true sidereal, if you want to support in reference of true sidereal astrology, that can kind of get you close to, not kind of, it does bring you close to true sidereal, okay? It's pretty much, he's the longest one that's been out on YouTube. I used to always put his information under all my readings over on my old channel, all in the cards, but it's Mastering the Zodiac. So check him out. He sends out a newsletter that kind of gives us the aspect of what's going on. So sometimes I read from that to you guys as my resource. I like to credit the resources, right? Because I know it's true, right? That's why it's true sidereal. But yeah, so this is definitely something that he highlighted in the Sun conjunct Neptune. So we know Neptune is definitely something also about bringing Mercury and Phobos energy together in the planetary alignment, which is all about your home life and your living conditions, being abundant, and also energy of men, right? So men right now need to understand that their life are going to be highlighted. There's going to be a lot of changes we're going to see by men that's going to affect our living conditions and our home lives in some lifespans, okay? Also technology, also communication, also business and finances. We're going to see all these things that are going to change because it's going to be highlighted because the Sun is conjunct Neptune. Neptune is about many things, that just what I told you, even relationships, technology, okay? Things that are going to be highlighted because the Sun is conjunct to that, right? In a negative way, some of it. This is just me looking at what is planetary alignment and me letting you know what's the actual, Sun and the moon of the spiritual astrology with the planetary alignments, okay? So with that energy that with Neptune, right, as well, we know that Neptune also causes a lot of things to happen in reference of people communicating things and it may not work in their favor. But also Neptune is very aggressive. So Neptune is violence, sexual assaults, unalivings and things like that. We'll see that highlighted in a major way right now, unfortunately. And I'm just reading to you guys just based off of planetary alignment before I even pull cards, right? So Venus retrograde, the usual way of relating, creating, and desiring doesn't work as expected. See? So it's conjunct the Sun. So it reaches an important point in the cycle this weekend as she comes into alignment with the Sun. This marks the midpoint of her current retrograde journey, a period that began at the start of the month. At this stage, she is closest to the Earth, yet hidden from the view, immersed in the Sun's light. This phase is a turning point, an opportunity to reassess the themes that have been unfolding over the past 3 weeks. Okay. So this is telling us that things that once seemed straightforward take on a different tone, just like I said, around your living conditions and your home life. And some it's going to be major and definitely emotional times around that energy of Venus, okay? Especially Neptune and all that Sun. See, the Sun is the light. So it's going to highlight all that negative. But then for some, it's going to highlight a lot of positive. See the duality in everything. You'll hear me say that forever because that's what it is. That's what's needed in life is balance, okay? So another thing he states in the letter today, for the information that he gives, old memories resurface, familiar patterns become more noticeable. The sun's conjunction with Venus highlights these shifts, but in a way that is less about information and more about the inner clarity. Okay, so Venus is refined in the heat of the sun, that is stripped of what is unnecessary so that something essential can emerge. I really love his newsletters. Please sign up for his channel and his newsletters. They are great. But I wanted to read to you guys from it today because it was really good in reference of exactly how the energy is, because sometimes, with me actually knowing the planetary alignment in reference of different spiritual astrology that is not known, right? It's not written, except for from the Most High and the ancestors that we're taught. Sometimes it's like a shift to the energy and the message that I want to give. So, but today I really feel strong with his information he put out there. So I always give people credit, right? So he says in Pisces, which we are now in Pisces sun, okay? This process is deeply internal, because remember, Pisces is about what you endure, okay? But also the law of attraction. So what you attract is what you put out, okay? Not only that, it's based off of, when I say put out and what you attract, is because of what you went through in life. You see, that's why endurance is a big thing. What did you endure, and what was the lesson learned from what you have endured? And how are you going to change that now to do something better, to serve your highest good, to change your mindset, to allow you to maneuver better in life and to be divine, but also still grind. You know what I'm saying? So in due time, you can shine. Yellow. Okay. So that's what you're supposed to be doing right now. Venus in this sign is attuned to the unseen, the intuitive, and the emotional, right? Because it's water. And then Venus too, right? So I think they say Taurus is connected to Venus in the Western, but it's really Scorpio. Okay. But anyways, she seeks connection beyond the surface, one that transcends words, expectations, and past experiences. Well, that's going to come up anyway with this water. We in Pisces, so we in the water element anyway. So you're going to have high emotions. You know what I'm saying? You just going through that in reference of the sun. The sun is the light. So it's what highlighted the emotional in things that you're going to endure right now. That's why you have to control your emotions, because you will be tested. You see? And I think right now the moon, let me go back and tell you, because I had that too. Yeah, the moon is in Libra. So that's why, another reason why Libra, why we got balance today in the message on Patreon, because Libra, they always say it's the scales in the Western, but it's really it's a whole different aspect to Libra. It's really about judgment, which could go back to justice, right? But right now you're going to be going through a lot of emotional turmoil, and some feeling judged, right? In a major way with this moon. And on top of that, the Pisces water with the air all in your mind, So yeah, it's a lot right now. Emotionally, right now, people can be very vexed. So please control your emotions, okay? Because that Neptune, okay, I don't know why I was about to say the number. I guess because that's just how my mind flows with numerology, which is connected to the planetary alignment. But what I was going to say was that Neptune, with the sun conjunct Neptune this week, that's a highlight on Neptune energy. And Neptune energy, if I'm not mistaken, let me look at Neptune, because I need to look at my notes to make sure I'm telling y'all. Neptune is Sagittarius energy. Maybe not in the Western. Y'all might not know that. But it is Sag energy in the spiritual astrology. So that's about mercy and understanding. We're going to need all that this week, family, with that sun being highlighted on Neptune. Because Neptune is to bring us a warning not to do certain things, or you will have karma. So this week, please don't do anything unless you want to reap that karma immediately. You know how they say people's karma happens and it spins the block so fast? That's pretty much what we're looking at this week with the Sun conjunct Neptune. And as I told you, the technology, the relationships, don't be out there doing too many, don't do no cheating, okay? Don't do no cheating, no nothing like that this week, because family, that will be highlighted. And also, because I got to be truthful in the message, you out there doing whatever, and then you wind up with something that you might not be able to get rid of, or you might have to go to a doctor to make sure you get healed from. Those are the type of things that Neptune can bring with that sun highlighted on it, and with trying to teach you a lesson in karma, because that's what Neptune is about in relationships. So you not supposed to do a certain thing will be highlighted, and you will receive karma. So please listen. But we also will have a lot of evil and wicked things happening too. So this is basically like Neptune with the sun conjunct Neptune. You're gonna get a lot of warnings, fair warnings, warnings, karma, karma, karma. So people that try to do people wrong or doing people wrong in any shape, form, or fashion, this ain't the week to do that. I'm just tell you, okay? Because you're gonna get it back. You're gonna get it back. So yeah. So that's that sun conjunct Neptune. And then I talked about the retrograde with the conjunct of sun, right? So it's basically where some things that you may feel like, remember, we're in Mercury retrograde, which sometimes retrogrades make you do the re's. Well, not sometimes, they do. So reassess, reflect, reproduce, right? Rewind. Rewind back the time of what you used to do. Some try to reconcile. Okay, so that's that spinning the block, especially with that Venus being retro in the sun. It's gonna be highlighted of a lot of people trying to spin the block, relationship wise. Okay, so I am gonna tell you that. I haven't even pulled any cards. I'm just telling you off the planetary alignment and just being able to. I just know, right? The sun conjunct Neptune is definitely about an atmosphere that is going to be very strong negative. I'm not going to say negative, but aggressive energy. Okay, so don't let nobody tell you it won't. Okay, when they start talking, I don't know why the Western looks at Neptune like a dreamy place. It's not. Neptune is not. You do the arguing and fussing and fighting, somebody can murder you allegedly. I have to say that for YouTube purposes, or unalive you because of just an argument. That's what that Neptune energy gives off. So please control your emotions. Okay. It's basically what you need to do to know about how this energy, that sun conjunct Neptune's, is for you to surrender to your emotions right now. Surrender. If you ain't heard nothing else, please hear that. And I think that's all I really wanted to tell you based off of his newsletter and the things that I looked up, and also I think that was it. Let me make sure I got to tell you guys everything, because I like to give you a good flow of different resources, about what's happening. Also this week, the moon is in the weak point of sidereal Scorpio. Okay, so we'll move from the Libra to the Scorpio moon, and it'll basically, it's a time for you to rest and make space. Okay, some things could end. Okay, and you could get a little emotional about these things that could be ending, or some things coming to a conclusion, or some things that have ended that will come back around, because remember, we're in retrograde in a couple of different planetary alignments, so it's a lot of things turning around. Okay, but it may be a good thing, because remember, they always look at retrograde as a bad thing, when really in actuality it's a good thing, and it's also a good time to tap in. If you are spiritual and you a spiritual worker, like light worker, do divination, do work with the ancestors, necromancy, whatever you may do, right? This is a good time. Okay. The equinox will take place on the 20th. Okay, so yes, that's another thing I want to talk about before I get off of here. I don't want to make this too long, but the equinox, the spring equinox, is coming in full force, right? First day of spring, astrology wise, right? And so you know, it's a really good, exciting time. I love the first day of spring. It's going to be at 5 a.m. in the morning Eastern time. It's in the Northern Hemisphere. It'll be the first day of spring. Bringing in at the end of this month on the new moon, which is going to be in Pisces in the sidereal on the 29th of March. Okay. I'm doing a road opener with my Patreonians that day. So we got some things going on. So yeah, those are the type of things we have going on over there on Patreon, family. Yes. So we working it out, you know. And I hope that you are too. And if you want to join us anytime, come on over there to Patreon. It's under all in the cards, not High Priestess Key. Okay. But yeah, so that's what we have. Oh, and also that new moon that's coming, which I'm gonna do a reading on that all together, it's gonna have a partial solar eclipse with it. So you know that's the highlight of the sun energy, okay? Versus what we just had was a total lunar, which is the moon energy. Okay. And last night I sat under the moon, honey. It was beautiful. Gibbous waning. Okay. So let's get a message through the cards. I'm only gonna pull 3 because I done did 20 minutes of just telling you what the planetary alignment is gonna be like, the energy is gonna be like, what you should prepare for, what you should look for, what you'll see, right? So yeah, read you a little bit from Mastering the Zodiacs, referred you there. Please check him out. True Sidereal Astrology. Okay. Message in reference of the energy that is here at this time with this Gibbous waning ancestors. Gibbous waning at this time. Show us in the cards. What's the message for the collective, please? Thank you right here, ancestors. Thank you for the Gibbous waning message. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Okay. So, one thing's for sure, 2 things for certain. The ancestors gave me some signs that may be affected by this energy in reference of, yeah, and it came out to equal the Neptune energy. Telling y'all right now, the sun conjunct Neptune is the main energy that is flowing and is ready to throw bows. Okay, so you better get your mind right when it comes to that Neptune energy. And Neptune ain't what they always tell you in the Western. Neptune is can be very strong, aggressive energy. Okay, so that's karma. Okay, I talked to you about the whole thing with Neptune and the numerology that I'm seeing with the message that came out. Overall message is about Neptune. So Answers is saying reiterate the Neptune again because they need to control their emotions. And I got Aquarius, I got Cancer, I got Capricorn, and I got Capricorn twice. I got Capricorn twice. Okay, so Capricorns, please. Okay. The message that I have here is for us to you may have to sacrifice some things this week in reference of this Gibbous waning energy, or you may have to surrender to something that you may felt that you may have not wanted to do, but you may have to do it, right? You may have to just relinquish to it instead of, and also this week, the ancestors is saying with the sun shining on that Neptune and the Venus retrograde being in conjunct with the sun as well. This is a time, remember I talked to you where it was saying, even in his newsletter, he said if things may not go the way you think. And that's exactly right. Like it may not be the way that you expected. So that's the energy that's here. You may have to sacrifice some things around your house, around your home, maybe around your children, around work, whatever it is, you may have to sacrifice. When I say sacrifice, what I mean, you may have to do something that you have to, do to make up for something that you may not have wanted to do. Put it like that. That's what you mean by sacrificing, right? So you may have to do that this week, okay? Or if you don't, you're going to probably have some burdens that you have to carry for other people, okay? Other people burdens, instead of letting go and doing something that, may work towards your highest good versus trying to carry everything for everybody else. Because if I'm seeing it's going to be a lot of sorrows and regrets if you don't. Okay. Also, you need to pay attention to the things that you're attracting right now, because it looks like the law of attraction is here very strong. Okay. Also, the law of relativity. So the ancestors want you to be very, very mindful of your tongue, the power in the tongue. I told you that Neptune energy is about what you speak, because this mouth right here, not mine, but I'm just saying your mouth and your tongue can be speak life and death. And that's something that's coming through very strong. And Sister said this week also, it's all about us doing some repentance, meditation a lot, prayer. Water elements should be used, and that's what we're in right now as well. If you're into doing rituals and things like that, you should be using water element. Okay. I'm also seeing there's going to be a lot of changes in families this Gibbous waning. Okay, it looks like some decrease in some situations could be going on. It's like Jupiter energy here, very strong, as well as I'm seeing people being very abundant right now, though. Okay, success is here, abundance is here, prosperity is here. So you may be getting, more money right now. You may be getting more work right now. I'm just seeing a lot of that, but I'm also seeing that the ancestors want you to work on your shadow work. Okay, so make sure you're working on your shadow work, any hidden trauma, any shadow messages that, shadow energy that you may feel, especially when it comes to the mothers. I'm seeing that you being the mother or you having issues with your mother. This could also go down to maybe some of you with niece. This is also being highlighted, something about a niece. So for some of you, you having some issues, maybe even your niece is having issues with their mother, which could be like your sister or whatever, it may be your brother. However, it may be, you may have to step in and help with that this week. That's something specific for someone. Okay, that's what Ancestors is throwing out. And be careful lusting at the others and obsessing after things this week, because that goes back to that Neptune energy, because it's going to be a highlight on it. Okay, so please, lusting after things, obsessing after things is a no-no. It's going to cause you sorrow and regret, and you're going to have trauma. Okay, because it's going to bring karma. Okay, so I'm telling you now, everything is relative right now. Okay, in the energy, everything is relative by the universal law. So that means the universe. Okay. Right now is just for you to pray, meditate, know your strength, and know you can triumph through whatever it is, any adversity that may come your way. Okay, a lot of your clairs are coming online, right? So what does that mean? Clairvoyant, clairaudient, all your gifts, right? Especially if you're trying to do the right thing, all those gifts are coming online, and the ancestors say use it, right? Use it or lose it. Okay. So just remember this, everything is relative, and make sure you repenting for all the things that you've done in the past, as the Most High and the ancestors know your heart. And so like I said, those Aquarius, those Capricorn is here twice. I also see a up flow of people receiving more money around business. And I'm seeing a lot of communication. If you was waiting on a job offer, a promotion, or a raise, it may be coming this week, okay? Because I'm seeing a lot of success, and a lot of people, if you're waiting on things to come to a head in reference to some type of legal situation or something of that sort, any type of judicial situation, I'm seeing it all come through this week, okay? And it looks like you're going to have some type of success around it, and it may bring some type of monetary benefits to you as well, is what I'm seeing here, okay? Some type of money. And ancestors say this week also fear will be highlighted, but ancestors say have no fear, have faith over fear. We got that message Monday on Patreon as well. All right, so all of this is in the energy. Okay, so I love you guys. I didn't want to hold you too long. I had to give you everything though that was included in reference of this week. Energy with this Gibbous waning, because the energy lasts a few days and then it moves into the next. So I think the next one I'll be doing will be crescent waning. So just come back to the channel. I always have a moon phase reading here. I think I'm pretty much the only one that do really moon phase readings. I don't know. I haven't seen many people do these, but that's pretty much what you're going to get here, as well as element readings. Because this is High Priestess Key. I am going to start dropping some teachable videos over here, but they're going to be like shorts. Okay, so I will start having those over here, and other little aspects of things that'll be spiritual things that I've learned over my years and being on my spiritual journey. But I do more of those long episodes in reference of your spiritual journey on my Patreon. Okay, because I have a High Priestess Key episodes over there too. All right. So join us on Patreon. Much love to you. I will see you guys soon. And make sure you remember, do not be out there. All right. Much love. Peace, family. Peace.